This is Dr. Diane Jamieson-Noel coming to you from sunny Vancouver, British Columbia. And today we are going to talk about a book called The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. I'm going to approach this slightly differently because I approach reading differently. So one of the things I want to talk to you is how can you get the most out of a book? This book was recommended by Mark Harbert. Shout out to Mark Harbert. And he said that this book actually was a book that changed the way he did his business. So I'm thinking, okay, he's recommended it. What can I get out of it? So I picked up the book, and one of the first things I thought I should do is, okay, it's all great. It's been recommended. What am I going to get out of the book? How can I get the most impact out of this book through reading it? So one of the things I do when I first pick up a book is I look at the cover, check out the title, check out the author. I check out the back of the book and see what's on the back of the book. And then from there, I'm going to do a skim of the book to figure out what are the topics being covered in the book and how can those topics help me think about what I might want to get out of the book. So I'm going to flip to the table of contents. I'm going to look at the titles of all the chapters that are in the book. And from there, I'm going to determine what I might want to get out of reading the book. And I also might just flip through and scan the book as well to figure out, okay, so what are the headings in the book? What are the titles in the book? Any special references? I noticed that there's actually a few diagrams in the book. Those could be rather interesting. So the reason why I go through this process is I want to set myself up so that I can find as much information in the book that's going to help me grow and help me learn as an individual. So from doing that quick preview of the book, I can then say to myself, okay, given that I've read the front and back cover, I've read the table of contents, what's my purpose? What do I want to get out of the book? And how can this book help me find information connected to that purpose? So I went out and set a purpose, and my purpose was, what principles does Jeff Olson have to offer that can move me forward with my business? And that can seem pretty broad, so you could narrow it down and you could specify a specific number of principles that you're looking for. So I've decided that I'm going to look for 3 to 5 principles in the book that I can actually take and I can apply, because there's no point in reading a book if you're not going to be able to take that information and use it in some way. In this case, because I am growing a business, how can I use this in my business? So those are particularly important. So I go through a process of flipping through all the pages in the book. It's called a photo reading process. So I read the book pretty much in about 15 minutes, just flipping through the pages. And then from there, I wanted to increase my curiosity about the book. I wanted to rethink my purpose, and I wanted to ask a few questions. And those questions are designed to help me find those 3 to 5 principles based on my purpose. So my questions ended up being, what can I do to create daily habits in my life that I can use to promote my business? Meditation was a word that was in the book. So what daily meditation could I do to engage me and relax me and help me structure my day? What are 3 things that I could put into daily practice so that I can move forward? Because a couple of the words that I saw used in the book were about being gradual, being consistent, and it's consistency that leads to these giant leaps to move you forward. So that seemed interesting to me in terms of, okay, how can I use this more? So all of these things are things that I start thinking in my mind as I just take a look through the book on that first pass and that first read. Now from there, I'm going to take these questions that I have. I'm going to think about my purpose that I've set for myself. And now I'm going to go through and I'm going to take another look at the book. And I'm going to do specific things to find answers to my questions that are going to satisfy my purpose. So all of these things are all tied together. So really, when you look at the broader scope of what's in a book, you want to enter into a conversation with the author about what the book is about. The author came at this based on his expertise, what he's done in his life, and he has a message to share. So how can you actually partake in that message in a way that's meaningful for you? The more active that you become as a reader, the more engaged you are with the material, the more likelihood you're going to have of actually getting the maximum benefit out of the book. I've talked to a couple of people who say, I'm such a slow reader. Sometimes it's really hard to get the message out of the book. Sometimes even I have had this where I've fallen asleep while reading a book. You don't want to do that. So by setting a purpose, asking some questions, doing a preview of the book like I just indicated, you're going to get a lot more out of the book so that you can get those, in my case, 3 to 5 principles about what the book is about, so it can drive you forward. And the other thing, in terms of thinking about books, is what are those core things, those key words that are in the book that are the key to getting the message delivered about what the book is about. So I wrote out about 20 keywords that struck me as, I'm curious. What do those words mean? What context are they being put in? How can they be useful to help me move forward in terms of understanding the message that's being delivered? Now, keep in mind, my interpretation of the book may be different from your interpretation of the book. So like and share and subscribe to my channel if you like, to share your insights about what you're getting out of the book at this point. Now, I'm just starting, so this is my first stab at reviewing the book. I've got some curiosity about the book, about how I'm going to move forward, and I'm going to continue this series as I read a book, essentially in about 30 minutes a day or the next 7 days, so I can reveal the new insights that I'm getting each time I read the book. So that's all for me. Dr. Diane Jamieson-Noel. I'll be talking to you soon. Have a great day.